Yeah, the first thing I said to our team in there was just how I'm sorry we couldn't deliver a win for Jack, Tyree, and Donovan because we love those guys. And senior night's always a difficult one because you're thinking about this could be the end is near, but you're also excited about where you're headed as a team. And for us to struggle the way we did tonight, two things jumped out to me. First is just our defense to start the game, and that's back-to-back home games that we've struggled to guard early in the game, and we've got to have a better start, and that put us on our heels and gave them a lot of confidence. And then we settled in and we had some good possessions until late in the game, and then the second one is really concerning, and I've been pretty honest about it with JT. I mean, I felt like our offense could get going as long as we could stay healthy and keep the right guys out there on the court. But defensively, the physicality that JT provides us, I thought it really was evident today. I mean, just the way that Edmonds and Punch controlled the glass on offensive reboundings and their physicality around the rim. And what's really concerning is just I told our guys there was one possession in the second half. I mean, in the first half where, the second half where we did a great job guarding them, and Luke boxed out, and Edmonds pushed him underneath the basket and got it. I think it was Edmonds, maybe it was Punch, and then he rebounded it, but Chris came down and stole it from him, and then that turned into the 2-on-1, I think maybe that we turned over. But I told him, like, it doesn't have to be like you're the one that gets it, but the fight level to our team and the way we fight and compete in those and scrap, like that's us, and that's the way we're going to have to do it. It isn't going to be clean. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be done together. And I felt like we actually, for the first time in the last 3 games, this being the fourth without JT, that we had some guys that weren't sure for whatever reason they wanted to put their nose in the middle of it, and that's the discouraging part of tonight. But that doesn't mean that's where we'll stay. So I'm excited to get back to practice on Thursday, and excited for our road trip at BYU to get better at it. And the better we get at this, the better our team will be, and the more we'll have a chance to play deep in March.
Coach, this is the third time this season that after a monster win, you lost a game to a team that you were favored to beat, which looks a little bit like a pattern. Is that a concern for you moving into the postseason once you get there?
Yeah, the pattern's not sure, because of the nature of how it's turned out, yes. I do think that when you play a really physical team, it does take a lot out of us because we have skill. And if you were to characterize our players, you wouldn't say that we're a physically imposing team, even though we have physical talent. We have great scoring and shooting in the perimeter and the guard spots. I mean, we're not huge physically around the basket. Lawan Watts and Luke, I mean, those guys are Lawan's skilled more so, and Lawan and Luke's a vertical athlete, and I think what we have is a good combination of basketball players, but I wouldn't call us physical. We have to really ramp that up, and I do think you could see it takes it out of us when we play a really physical team, and then you got to turn around and play in a short amount of time. So am I concerned about it? Yes, but I'm not concerned about necessarily just the physical play. It's the fight that we got to have in order to be successful. And I did think that we had the depth because I loved it. I mean, you can throw Tyree in there, and we can maybe throw some of those forwards in there and the way we wanted to play, but then you start to get down offensively and you're trying to find that mix of who you want to keep putting out there. And I got to do a better job making sure that we can maintain a physicality and still put pressure on other teams in the way we play offense. And maybe we're going to have to choose one or the other at some point just to try to separate. But, yeah, it's definitely concerning. And it's a part of this game that we've got to get a grip on before we get into these games that are elimination games.
And over the last 3 games, Christian Anderson's assist-turnover ratio has dropped down to 1.3. What do you see going on there with the turnover situation?
Yeah, we made some substitutions, and give TCU a lot of credit give these teams we're playing credit. I mean, you're talking about Cincinnati, Iowa State, and this team's the second in our league at turning people over percentage-wise. So, I mean, it's not like it's a shock. And I don't mean that disrespectfully toward Christian. Just, when we had JT in the middle, I think it made it easier for him to pass to a guy that can make the next pass. And so we've went to more of a guard involvement so that we didn't just put those forwards in positions where they have to make a bunch of decisions. And I think it's caused us to turn the ball over more than we wanted to, dribble a little bit more than we wanted to, and make him try to create some things out of nothing, and that's caused some turnovers. And we just got to keep working and keep getting guys in better confidence in positions where they can make the right play and get to the next action, and we can keep getting better.
And how do you feel that the offense functions when Christian Anderson is playing off the ball? Are you satisfied with the way that's working out?
Yeah, I mean, I think at times we started the game with it and hit a three to start the game with him off the ball. It got delivered in the right way, and we don't have a ton of experience doing it. I think that's an area that we can improve, but you can improve with that in a short amount of time with the guys that we have because of their skill and talent. And Lawan needs to be involved in a way that's impactful on both ends for our team to have some success. And tonight, that wasn't the case.
This felt like the first night in a while where Jalen's had a pretty consistent shooting night. Can you just talk about the impact that he made, finished with 17 points?
Yeah, that's what I told the staff. I mean, I loved his aggressiveness and the way he played and just how he connected some things. I wish we didn't turn the ball over as much. That's where we got to put those pieces together. And to your point, when Christian's off the ball and Jalen's on, can we create enough offense to where we don't turn the ball over but still get quality shots? And, man, was Jalen's competitiveness was right tonight. That's why I think he played so well offensively.
I know the game just ended, but going into BYU, last game of the year, what do you think an emphasis should be from what you want to see from the team to end off the season?
Well, we've improved over the last 4 games pretty consistently in every area, and I thought we're prepared for tonight. But, Coach Dixon and TCU have been doing this to a lot of teams. I mean, they've been rebounding, and they've been getting to the foul line. And so they got Luke in foul trouble, which was a real tough component for what we were facing in Edmonds and Punch's ability to offensive rebound. And 2, I mean, I just love that we get to be exposed now so that we can learn from it. I mean, that's what I'm excited about. So going into BYU, I mean, this has been our deal. When we are scrappy on the glass and we can get 50-50s and turn people over, I mean, not turn people over, but come up with all those in-between plays, we're awesome. And when we don't, this is what we get. So leaning into that and keep improving our guys where they embrace it too on nights where maybe it feels hard, because those guys are good, really good. I mean, I love their team and how they attack the glass. Awesome to watch. And we just didn't have the right fight to do it, and maybe we'll get better because of it.
What was during that 6.5, 7 minute stretch where you weren't able to get a basket? Was it shot selection, or was it just the way that TCU attacked you on defense?
Well, I think it was a combination. We went with some different lineups, and I think we were caught in between having a forward involved in the action and having a guard, and it got confusing on a couple possessions, and we weren't as clear as we needed to be to get a great shot. And then some of it we had good shots and had opportunities and just weren't able to deliver on it. And, I mean, that's just haven't faced this a ton, especially at home, where we've not been able to have the fight and kind of shot making that delivers in these games. And we did look like we need to be more competitive.
On a night like tonight, when you really had to live by that skill you were talking about, really focus on deep shots, why didn't it work out?
You got to say what's been our – when we don't play well, people crush us on the glass. We don't win the rebounding war. And, I mean, I thought we made enough threes for us to be where we needed to be. I mean, we made 11. So I would prefer, obviously, us to be in a position where we are capitalizing on offensive rebounds out of those. That's where we've kind of made our opportunities. And we had a couple of those threes were offensive rebound, kick out threes. But where we lost this game was our fight around the paint and our ability to get defensive rebounds.
With one regular season game left, how do you make sure you fix these areas of concern? Do you feel like you really have enough time to?
Oh, no question. I mean, I love this team. I told them in there. I mean, I know everybody's going to be down, and you get questions about whatever it is. And I mean, everybody knows that in this league, it is every night you got to show up. And TCU is probably got the strengths where we're the weakest in a game where we got exposed. I don't think it's that complicated, honestly. I mean, I'm not trying to say that we don't have the fight to win this basketball game, but where they're great, which is turning people over and exposing you on offensive rebounds and getting fouled. I mean, we've done all those things, and it's been when we've played our worst is when those things have turned for other teams. So paint points, second chance points off turnovers, and then ultimately our fight level inside with the physical play. We've got to do it collectively. We can't just lean on one person. It's got to be everybody in it together, and we weren't together on that today. And we can improve on it, though. I do believe that. We got a couple weeks to get better at it, and the more we stare it in the face and the more we decide this won't happen to us again, the better we'll be at it.
Basketball in general, just kind of a matchup-based game, but do you think tonight was kind of where they had a little bit more athletic bigs that could kind of move you around a little bit? That was kind of the drawing factor of what kind of led to some of this? Yeah,
it's a big part. I mean, I was communicating with Josiah and Luke, and Edmonds made a couple threes on us tonight, once they got us spread out. And then they pull you away from the rim so you don't have the common help cycle of who's rotating. And you end up in some gaps where your guys aren't necessarily as experienced that we had out there, and we got exposed. And we had some great possessions too. So I'm leaning on the fact that we can learn and grow from this, but definitely their ability to take our size away from the rim and play 5 out and move us and drive us and put pressure on the basket, then rebound and collapse us really, really caused us problems.
And then just kind of looking way ahead, you guys had already locked up the top 4 seed for the tournament next week. Do you think that kind of helps having that little bit of buffer after BYU to maybe get your sea legs back under you and start fine-tuning those things for that postseason run?
Definitely. I mean, unfortunately, I'm blessed, man, that I get to coach at Texas Tech. I'm so thankful to be on this team. I'm telling you, our practices are awesome. Coaching in the United Supermarkets arena is awesome. I mean, our fans today were unbelievable. Our students have been unbelievable all year long. I mean, this journey's been pretty wild, and there's a lot of ups and downs that go with it. And I've been on a team that lost 2 home games with a chance to clinch conference championships at home. And then went on a 4-game stretch where we won the conference tournament and beat Purdue in the NCAA tournament. So, I'd like to tell y'all, everybody has the answers of why we won't do anything in postseason. I can tell you, I can give you a lot of reasons why we will. And that's my heart for this group. And that's the way we're going to approach it, just like our fans were there for us tonight where everybody was. I'm going to be there for our guys to help us get better. And it's with accountability and love, with hope. It's not like we can't do it. It's like, no, I've seen us do it. I can pull up 50 clips of Lawan wedging somebody and going and grabbing that thing with 2 hands. So I'm going to convince him that we can do this against the best teams in the country every night, not just some nights. To your point, we can't do this one night and then turn around and lay an egg the next one. I mean, that's not the way the NCAA tournament works. You're going to play 2 games on a weekend. If you win, you got to turn around and play somebody that's going to be better and more physical and got an opportunity to expose you in real ways. And so we'll stare this in the face, and I will as a coach, to try to help our team have confidence in these games that we can do it. And we got to do that with some practice habits, which are shortly going away. And I recognize that, but it's just don't feel like we'll have this effort again on the glass, that we'll find ways to be more competitive than this. But TCU deserves all the credit. I'm not just saying that like coach speak. I really mean that. I mean, I think their physicality at even the bigger guard spots of shoving us underneath the basket kind of caved us in over the course of the game. And with foul trouble, I did a crappy job of rotating us and keeping us fresh, and it felt like we got at the bottom of our tank, and I can't do that with this group with our lack of physicality. I got to keep us, whether we have some lulls offensively, feels like this team just needs to stay with the energy on the defensive end and rebounding, and that'll be what gives us the best chance to win these kind of physical battles. Appreciate y'all. Thank you.